Hey there everyone, how you guys doing? As always, I hope you're having a great day so far today. Today I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on the comparison between the game Monopoly and real life capitalism. Because Monopoly is basically a board game that signifies capitalism. You all start off low and you can buy things and build things and charge other people things. It's very similar in a lot of ways to capitalism. And some of the ways it's similar is they're both heavily based off of luck and experience and skill. Some ways it's not so similar is in Monopoly, everyone starts off with the same amount of money, and in real life, as we know, some people inherit large estates, some people inherit big businesses, and some families are generationally rich, and some families are generationally not rich. So this in itself is a big defining characteristic of the two. But some of the things we can learn about it is that as time goes on, oftentimes it's important to change the rules, either to fit certain houses' playing style or just to make it more fair. A good example of this that everyone can be aware of is the free parking. Free parking actually isn't a place where you're supposed to collect a bunch of money in the middle, but a lot of people do that to kind of give everyone hope and make it more exciting in the game. This is called a house rule. And just like that, in real life capitalism, some of the rules need to be tweaked. Another example of a rule in Monopoly that's not exactly fair and that a lot of places will tweak is the rule that when you knock a player out of the game, you immediately take over all their properties, even the mortgaged ones. And a lot of people don't play this way because it makes it very unfair towards the other players who didn't happen to knock them out. Like say you've got this guy here who gets knocked out, and you have two people over here. Person A takes most of that guy's money, and he actually does a lot of the work to actually make the man bankrupt. But person B is the one who delivers the final death blow. He actually, number B, gets all the properties from the guy who gets knocked out. And a lot of people see this as unfair, and they don't play that way. And the same thing is true in real life capitalism. Oftentimes we can recognize that some of the rules and laws are unfair and that they need to be changed and that they can be changed. Just like how we have house rules in Monopoly, we have a Senate that can vote and pass new laws and regulations. Another way that they're both similar is that through like an example of the experience and skill thing is some of the properties in Monopoly are simply worth more mathematically than the other properties. A good example of this is the orange properties. Tennessee Avenue, St. James or St. Charles Place, I believe, and New York Boulevard, I believe they are. The orange ones, right before free parking, are some of the mathematically best properties because they have a huge payout when you get a hotel on them, and they are very cheap to build houses on. It's only $100 to put a house on each one of them. So the same thing is true in real life. Location, location, location is the most important thing when buying things like real estate and starting up new businesses. And an experienced and skillful based investor will notice this and take action on it, and someone who isn't as skilled and knowledgeable won't. They'll lose their money. And in real life, it's a lot easier to make a bad decision. In Monopoly, if you land on a property, it's almost brainless. You just buy it. But in real life, these subtle differences between locations can make a huge difference, and the skill is very much involved. So just like Monopoly, luck and skill are all there. But one of the biggest things that we can learn through Monopoly and that has not been implemented in our society is that if we don't have some sort of way of giving people back money every now and then, either once a month or once a year, through what is known as a universal basic income, eventually the game just goes to shit. In Monopoly, if you don't pass go and collect $200, eventually people will just run out of money to invest and buy more properties. And the same thing is true in real life. If you don't give people a certain amount of money, just every, like, universally and without questions asked, unless they go to jail and they don't collect $200 when they pass go, then the game of real life goes to shit pretty quick, which is what we're seeing right now. Wealth inequality becomes very massive. The wealth gap is huge, and a lot of this is because like, if you go back generations and generations, this would be when our real life game started, and some people got ahead and some people didn't. And I'm not saying that it's impossible to get ahead nowadays, but with a nice boost every now and then, just like in Monopoly, when you pass go, everyone receives a blank check, the same amount regardless of your situation. If you're winning the game or if you're losing the game, you get treated the same. The same thing can be true in real life, through changing the rules and laws and regulations to make it more fair for everyone and all. So honestly, one of the biggest things that we can learn from Monopoly is that it might actually be a good idea to give everyone a universal basic income. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you think there are more correlations between the two that I didn't mention, or if you think this whole analogy is just stupid, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, peace.